Hey everyone, I'm Kristen, the anxiety therapist, and today is part 2 of the 4-part series I'm doing on the fear responses. These can also be referred to as an acute stress response and includes fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. So last week I talked about the fight response. Today I'm going to be focusing on the flight response. And this occurs when our brain feels it's not going to be successful in fighting off danger. So what happens is we try to get as far away from the danger as possible. Our body experiences a surge of hormones, which includes adrenaline, and it basically gives us the stamina we need to move away from the threat, more so than we would on a regular basis when we weren't experiencing that physiological arousal. So an example would be, if let's say you're in a burning building, obviously you want to escape and flee the scene as soon as possible so that you don't get harmed in some way. Now, if it's not a sort of a life or death situation, such as a burning building, this flight response can sort of manifest in other ways when it comes to more sort of anxiety-based or general feelings of being threatened. And so this can manifest as excessive exercising, feeling fidgety, tense, or trapped. Maybe you're constantly moving your legs, feet, or arms. You might have a feeling of restlessness. You might have some numbness in your arms or legs, and you might have dilated, sort of darting eyes. And if you've experienced trauma in your past, then this is going to be escalated even more. So there's going to be a more intense desire to escape or deny pain, emotional turmoil, or any other feeling of distress. So as a child, if let's say you came from a high conflict household where there was a lot of yelling and fighting, maybe some domestic violence, something like that. As a kid, you might have engaged in this flight response by sort of diving into your schoolwork as a way to occupy yourself. You might fantasize and sort of plan out different escape routes or methods as a way to sort of flee the household. Or you might drown out arguments by, cranking up your music. And these were ways that you sort of adapted or coped with the situation as a kid. Now, moving into adulthood, this can look a little different. This can manifest as sort of like striving for perfection so that you can avoid any criticism or being challenged in any way. You might end a relationship if you feel threatened at all before the other person can end it so that you can't feel hurt or rejected. You may try to avoid conflict because that might elicit some feelings of distress for you, or maybe be a reminder of what you experienced in the past. And then you may throw yourself into work or a particular hobby or even substance use, so alcohol or drugs, as a way to kind of numb out that anxiety or panic or feelings of distress that you're experiencing. So I hope this video was helpful to identify how this flight response can sort of manifest not only in different ways, but at different periods in our lives. And, just take a look at your own life and see if any of these things resonate with you. If so, therapy can be super helpful to kind of identify how that's impacting you now and to make changes so that you don't have to constantly live in this kind of state of high arousal and feeling anxious all the time. So be sure to follow me on social media at Cathartic Space Counseling. That's on Facebook and Instagram. And check out my website for more information, and that's catharticspacecounseling.com. I hope you all have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.